Boston Celtics unfortunately could not get the job done on the road in the American Airlines Center for Game 4, which means we've got a Game 5. That means Smitty and I are back here to give you our Game 5 preview to see if the Boston Celtics can take Banner 18 in Game 5. And you know what? Even better, take it at home in TD Garden in the Boston City and just celebrate with everybody that has watched this team dominate all year long. Before we jump into our keys to victory here to take Game 5 and just take this series, go ahead and predict your score of Game 5 of the NBA Finals. I'm going to tell you my score prediction at the end of this video. Smitty's going to tell you his score prediction at the end of this video as well. So I want you guys to go on ahead, comment it down below. Let's go on ahead and jump into it. So like Smitty and I have said here in the past is, these keys to victories are nothing new. These are what the Celtics have been doing that has been working. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the job done in Game 4. So here are my keys to victory. We're going to do a nice 5 list here. But number 1 is just have the better duo. The Boston Celtics have been very fortunate to have 2 great duos on their team. Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. But obviously, the duo of Luka and Kyrie seemed to get the best of them in Game 4. So you just got to continue to have the better duo here, Smith.
Yeah, I mean, for the first 3 games of this series, it was evident that the better duo was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But then you get to Game 4, and what did the Mavs need to avoid their season ending? They needed Kyrie and Luka to be better than Jaylen and Jason, and then some. And that's what happened at the end of the day. So you just have to go back to what worked, initiate the offense through a guy like Jaylen Brown, initiate the offense through a guy like Jason Tatum, and play the game that you played the first 3 of this series. I think you'll be fine. I think the defensive aspect of Jaylen and Jason's game just far outweighs Luka and Kyrie's. And we saw that through 3 games. Just saw that Luka and Kyrie's offense kind of took over in Game 4, and the Celtics are just going to need to have to balance that back out in Game 5 and close this one out.
I mean, you saw in Game 3 specifically here. Well, I want to talk about the Game 2 transition into Game 3 because Game 2, Luka's defense was a complete liability.
Yeah.
And Game 3, it wasn't much better, but it was better until he fouled out there towards the end of the game. But I mean, still, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you're picking up your 6th foul there. You know where his weakness lies, and I do think it lies on the defensive side of his basketball game. So he's got to target that. He's got to attack that, make him work on defense, and then he'll be pretty tired on offense as well. And that's how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can just absolutely flourish. Because when they work together, there's really no stopping them. But when they do happen to have a lead, which you know will possibly come here in Game 5, we've seen that through the first 3 games here, you can't let up with the lead. And that's the sense that the Celtics just always settle for bad shots. They always just seem to move a lot more chaotically when they are going from baseline to baseline. So I just need them to be the confident Celtics they are, because we saw that in Game 3 specifically, going up 20 points and then allowing the Mavericks to come back in the fourth quarter, cut it to 3. That can't happen. That happens when you start playing sloppy. And now you got D. White, Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown just chucking up threes as if they're getting paid to do that. So you just can't play sloppy. You can't let up.
Yeah, complacency is an issue. We saw it in Game 3 and we saw it in Game 4. I mean, the Celtics are able to build up a lead, and then next thing you know, they get cute and think it's all wrapped up, and next thing you know, it's not. And the Mavericks were able to capitalize on that. So overall, if you build this lead, it has to be foot on Dallas's neck. It has to be tunnel vision, goal in mind. You're winning a championship. And, listen, last time Boston won a championship, their closeout game in Game 6 versus LA, they won by like 40.
Yeah.
So you just have to take that mantra and kind of apply it to today's team. Look back on that, maybe watch the film of that Game 6 and just be able to drown out all the noise and just focus on your one goal, and that's winning a championship, and that's winning it by as many points as it takes to put the stake in the hearts of the Dallas Mavericks.
And with that being said, we will be live for Game 5 as well tomorrow night. Going ahead and subscribe to Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Picked up a handful of subscribers during Game 4. Thank you guys so much for that. But we want to go bigger and better. We want you guys to be a part of that journey as well. Let's see if the Celtics can wrap it up here in Game 5. And the way they can do that is you got to keep attacking Doncic. You got to keep attacking Luka. I touched on this a little bit with our first key to victory there, but ultimately, you just got to make him work on both sides of the basketball, and the offense will start to stop falling. Something that I noticed, and Smitty has noticed here, is that Luka has not been clutch through the first 3 games in the fourth quarter. So I would just go on ahead and attack that constantly, especially when it comes down to crunch time, if there is a tight game rolling into game 5 here in the fourth quarter, just keep pushing Luka, because he only scores under 10 points so far in the first 3 games of this series in the fourth quarter. So I would just realize that you've played this team several times so far in the series. Just keep attacking their weaknesses, because you know Joe Mazzulla is going to be hunting them out here.
Yeah, I want to reference this graphic that ESPN put up, and it's the highest blow-by percentage allowed on drives in a series. And Luka Doncic, he ranks 67.7% of plays that he is defending end up in a blow-by drive to the Boston Celtics. And then 2 other series from him happened this season as well. 65.2% against the Clippers and 59% against the Thunder. The Celtics have an ability to, for whoever Luka Doncic is defending, to take him off the dribble, take him to the basket, and get an efficient shot at the rim. Or if the defense of Dallas collapses on them, then they are able to kick out to an open shooter, and the Celtics are able to play their game. They're able to play their brand of basketball, and it's either an efficient shot at the rim or it's an efficient, wide-open outside shot from 3. So as long as you keep putting Luka Doncic in actions, keep getting him a good switch onto a potential Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown drive, you're going to either get a shot at the rim or get a shot from 3.
And also, you have more resources, I think, than Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. So we've seen that several
100%.
times here. So number one, you just got to keep involving those resources, and one of those have been Jrue Holiday. He's just been phenomenal, man. I go back to that Game 2 stellar performance, and he even had a great game on his birthday in Game 3 here. I think Jrue Holiday has been literally Jrue the glue for the Boston Celtics on both ends, and I'm going to be looking at Jrue Holiday to keep doing what he needs to do, and that's attack Kyrie Irving. His defense has been phenomenal. We saw a lot of matchups, specifically in Game 3, where he really went ISO with Luka Doncic as well. So I think Jrue Holiday, who we known can get hot on offense, but I'm really just looking for that spark plug on defense. But when I say involve Jrue Holiday, don't be afraid to really spread out that duo of Tatum and Brown and incorporate Holiday into that Tatum, because he lives down low under the rim. He's sneaky type of sneaky type of offensive player where he will cut several times the basket without a single Mavericks defender seeing him. So keep utilizing that, because when he did drop 26 points in Game 2, I saw 70% of his points came from right underneath the rim. You got to capitalize on how many offensive weapons you have here, and just don't be afraid to involve him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I could have put it better than you there, Allie, because Jrue Holiday is just the final piece of the puzzle that, for me, had us expecting a Celtics championship in 2024. Yeah, they acquire Porzingis, and most people thought they were the favorites then. But then Milwaukee decides to give up Jrue Holiday in that trade for Damian Lillard. The Celtics swoop right in, steal him from Portland, and now the Bucks are paying dividends for that move that they made, and the Celtics are reaping the rewards. Jrue Holiday, we know how good of a defender he is. Stick him on Luka Doncic, stick him on Kyrie Irving. It doesn't matter. He's going to play tough. On offense, though, he's an efficient three-point shooter from the corner, but he can also take the ball, pump fake, put it on the floor, and drive to the cup. Or, if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, like you said, cutting to the rim when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown receive help defense, and you're gonna find yourself getting a lot of Jrue Holiday buckets.
And the last thing is, you got to use the power of TD Garden. Something in the universe brought you guys back here to Boston for Game 5. I mean, maybe they just did not want to win on the Dallas Mavericks court. Maybe it's bad juju. I don't know. But now you're going to have living legends probably in Game 5, TD Garden. You may see a little Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, maybe even Larry Bird will come out and join them as well. Maybe we can cross our fingers. But I just think you got to use the city of Boston to your advantage here. I love home court advantage, especially if they want to win for the city of Boston. There's no better place to do it than in the city of Boston. Do it in TD Garden and just feed off the energy.
Let's get a dub.
All right, with that being said, my prediction here is going to be Celtics win 105-88. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Celtics are just going to absolutely run away with this, so I think that'll be my prediction here, and then I'll speak for Tyler Smith here as well. His prediction will be 115-102. Go on ahead and drop your prediction down below like I asked you guys earlier in this video, and as always, go on ahead and like this video if you guys are actually going to be joining us tomorrow for our NBA Finals watch party. Hit that thumbs up. I just want to see how many people are going to be joining us tomorrow night. Game 5 Monday night in TD Garden. And as always, last but not least, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me.